you've learned about two special programs that we offer to groups of children that that are helping them reconnect with each other in their schools. But also I want to share with you about services we offer as well. And those services are, one, EduCare's growing specialized support program that assists our youth facing challenges with their classes, including many students in the foster care system or students experiencing homelessness. So we're going to be taking a quick look at EduCare's support for English language learner students and newly arrived immigrant youth. And joining me to talk about this are Abigail Miranda Solano, a recent EduCare graduate from Silmar, and Magali Barajas, EduCare site coordinator at Fireball High School in Linwood, and Kameen Sanmo, my fellow board member and again longtime supporter of EduCare. So welcome everyone. Magali, let me start with you. How have you been? How have you seen as a student of EduCare students who are most at need benefiting from EduCare?
Well, there's a statistic that that has always resonated with me, and it states that most youth crime happens from 3 to 6, and I really do hope that I see the day that we eradicate that statistic, because I really do feel that EduCare does that. We provide services such as academic support, supper programs, leadership programs, enrichment programs, and fitness. And we really do strive to offer students an opportunity to learning that is active, collaborative, meaningful, supports mastery, and especially expands their horizon. I wanted to share a personal story with you. Of one of my students, most recently, we'll name him Chris. He came to our program pre-pandemic, a few months before, and would come to our office and never wanted to turn in a registration form because we do require registration forms. And I kept on asking him and asking him. I said, well, unfortunately, you won't be able to participate unless you have that form with you. And one day, I allowed him to stay in my office for a little bit. One day he came to me when everybody left and said, I can't turn in a registration form because I can't complete it. And I asked him, well, why is that? I said, because my parents were deported. I have nobody to sign my registration form. So I asked him, I said, you know, your legal guardian can always sign it for you. So he did say that he was staying with one of his aunts and uncles, and we got him to sign the registration form, and he was able to come in and use all of our programs and use all of our services. But then when the pandemic hit, and they announced that the borders were closing, his aunt and his uncle, you know, told him, pack your bags. You need to go back to your parents in Mexico. This kid was a senior in high school, months away from graduating from, you know, something that he's worked so hard to achieve. And he wasn't going to be, there was no Wi-Fi. There was nothing he could do to ask his, you know, to have his aunt and uncle let him stay here. He got Wi-Fi one day and came into one of our virtual programs, and where he shared with me, I can't do my homework. I don't have a laptop. We were able to connect with him with an admin and ship him a laptop, and that just meant so much to him and to us, because we saw him accomplish something that his family probably never even dreamed of. Yeah. And he still stays in touch with us. He's back in the U.S. He's getting the support he needs, but he will forever be grateful to EduCare, and we will forever be grateful for allowing him, opening up to us.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That's the environment you create, you know. You may have something turned, you may have your other thing turned on. You might want to mute that. So I also want to talk to you, Magali, just quickly about EduCare and in a way it supports English language learners, because again, that's a big challenge, strengthening their language development, improving their self-confidence, increasing their involvement in the school community. And there's a lot there that we're seeing right now as a huge need in households. So how do you, tell me what you're doing. What are we doing around the English language learners, and how does EduCare assist them?
We do have a large program that spans throughout LAUSD, and it's called the LAB program, Language in Action. And it's a program that helps students learn the language, because language is a form of communication, but it can also be a form of um, non stopping all communication, so we do have that program available for students, and it's more of a disguised learning program where they get to interact, they get to really connect with their community. We also have individualized programs, such as at Fireball High School. We do have something we started called Club Social, and it's the English learners that come in. We actually saw that they were staying after school, but they were in groups and they were only speaking Spanish to each other. So we try to assimilate them with the rest of the program, and connect them with students that spoke in English, because that's the best way they can learn, is to practice it. We also, most recently, we had a program, which I was fortunate to be a part of, called the Newcomer Program at Maya Angelou High School. And that program um, really impacted me, because we had students that had just been in the country for 6 months or less, and they were on Zoom, because we couldn't have in-person learning. We had a teacher, and there was a language barrier there. There was a amazing teacher, but he didn't speak Spanish. And some of these students first didn't have most didn't have formal education, because again they came from impoverished countries, and education wasn't available for them. So we connected that way. We through Zoom, the teacher expressed that they weren't turning in their homework, they weren't turning their cameras on, um, and he just didn't feel that they were going to benefit from the program. So we started talking to them, and they saw a face that's a familiar face, that looked similar to them. I told them my background, and we quickly started getting into doing their work. We figured that it was, when checking their homework, a lot of it was auto-corrected. So I asked them, I said, how are you doing your work? Or how are you logging into Zoom? And they said, through my phone. Almost all of them said, oh, it's through my phone. So we actually were able to connect, we were able to connect them with their principal, and get laptops for them, because they didn't even feel worthy, because they were so new to the country. They didn't feel worthy enough to receive something like that. And it was just, it blew my mind when I heard that, because I was like, of course you deserve all of the supplies, everything to make you, be the best be the best version, be the best person you can be.
Well, thank you so much, Marley, for your going beyond, the extra mile to just make sure these guys and gals are okay. So much appreciate what you're doing and this program that EduCare offers. Let me jump to Kameen. I know you're on the board, and I know it's a real special commitment that not a lot of people choose to make. So tell us what it is that drew you to volunteer on EduCare's board.
Hi, Joey, and it's such an honor to be here. And it's, being a part of the board it feels like such a small thing to do, because the staff and the organization is so extraordinary. I started with EduCare as a donor. I heard some of the great things they were doing, and it was really important for me. Education is a passion of mine, and I got involved and started to learn more and see what Stu and Candace had created, and learn about what the staff was doing and how the kids were thriving. And so when they asked, I just had to be a part of it.
Well, you said education's a passion. Your mom was a teacher, right? So tell us more about how you see EduCare's specialized student support services lifting students and even communities.
That's such a great question, Joey, because my mom was actually a teacher and then a went all the way up through the ranks to principal and then a professor. And so I come from a family where education was extremely important, and her mother was an educator as well. So seeing these programs, the educational support services and the case management, they have EduCare has such a holistic view of education. So it's helping them become leaders. So it's not just about what they're learning in the classroom, it's teaching them how to be more accountable, how to be heart-centered, compassionate leaders. As you saw with Axel and Effie and Samuel, I mean, these are extraordinary beings who are going into the world. I want them to lead our companies going forward. And they also, EduCare also brings in the health aspect in healthy eating, smoking programs, all of that. And so, I'm a proud supporter of this organization because of all the work that the staff and the organization does.
Well, your involvement has made a big difference. So it's so, EduCare's blessed to have you on the board. I also want to introduce Abigail. Abigail, why don't you say hi and tell us who you are?
Sorry. Hi, my name is Abigail. I graduated from Somar Charter High School about a year ago now. My experience with the EduCare program really taught me to find my voice, which is scary, especially once you become an adult. It's hard to find not only who you are as a person, but also how to show the world that, this is me. And I don't know, I think that's one of the greatest things I've learned so far from them.
I love it. And how has it empowered you since? What have you done going forward since that year?
I've certainly put myself more out there when communicating with my professors or classmates. When it comes to looking for a job, they really want to look for someone who's willing to work with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And from a young age, I was 13, and EduCare managed to ingrain that into my values of leadership and courage and overall honesty in what I do. So.
That's beautiful. Well, again, thank all three of you for your support. And I really, again, appreciate all the work that you've done and that you've been giving back to EduCare and to the people around you.